Welcome back to Stella's Knife Obsession. I am Stella. Last week I got in the CJRB Rampart and promised you a review of it this week. So as you can see, this is the Rampart with the copper scales, and we do already have a little patina starting. Kind of excited about that. More excited about it getting past the just look dirty phase, kind of just looks dirty. But yeah, I had a pretty good experience with this guy last week, or this whole week. I chopped through a bunch of cardboard and everything I needed to use a knife for this week. I used this guy for. And then all I had to do was a strop, and it brought it right back to the factory edge, which the factory edge in this case was really good. It was shaving sharp when I got it. I test out all my knives on my hairs on my arm when I get them. So this guy right here shaved my arm, and by the end of the week it was a little dull, not it was still sharp enough, but it wasn't shaving sharp. So I did 10 passes on both sides on my strop, and it's back to shaving sharp. So I have a little piece of paper here to show you guys. Oops. I suck at this when I'm doing it in front of a camera, though. Yeah, so anyway, it was very sharp. It is very sharp still. Yeah, I'll just stop. So anyway, I'm really happy with this guy. Although it's a little on the heavy side, let me grab my scale and I'll tell you how much it weighs. Okay, let's see. The reason I mention the weight is because it does have copper scales and it is summertime. So, we're looking at under 5.5 ounces. So that's not too bad for a heavy one. Let's see. Put this over here. And so, actually, what I wanted to do was some size comparisons, just so everybody knows what they're looking at as far as the size here. Let's start with the SOG Terminus, or SOG Terminus, and the CJRB Feldspar. I do my size comparisons pivot to pivot, and then we will go with the Civivi Elementum, just because a lot of people out there know what this guy is all about. So yeah, it's bigger than both the Feldspar and the Elementum, of course. But yeah, even though it's bigger, it doesn't feel huge in your pocket. It didn't weigh my shorts down. Although, that 5 ounces, it just wasn't that bad, honestly. The action is wonderful. But I do want to mention that the flipper doesn't have any jimping, and my finger slips off this thing constantly. So if I were to critique this build, I would tell them to please put jimping on the flipper tab. It's constantly, my fingers just slipping right off. Now, when you do get a grab of it, it does fly open like it should. The detent is good. It's ceramic, of course. It has ceramic bearings. And it doesn't have that really fall shut action, but a couple shakes and you're down. So it's a pretty good action. I really enjoyed this knife and carrying it this week. I do like the fact that they put this I like this pocket clip. They didn't put it into the scale. They didn't mill it in or embed it, so to speak. But it didn't start any problems or any issues with putting it in and out of my pocket. And they did include everybody by putting it reversible, making it reversible. The lanyard hole, I think I mentioned that when I opened this. I don't like this lanyard hole. I kind of wish they would have left the lanyard hole out, because the two standoffs in the back are perfectly capable for people who are lanyard lovers to wrap a lanyard around. I don't know why they had to put an additional hole in it when it's got the open back construction. Now you'll see there's milling, quite a bit of milling actually, in the one side, but there's not much relief you can give a knife with copper scales. So yeah, but the jimping on the blade on the spine is pretty good. It's actually excellent. It's perfect. It's got that great grippiness to it. However, I just wish it was a little further up because I don't have extremely large hands. And as far as if you were to compare my hands with a man's hands, I have medium hands, and like I say, I have large female hands. But if you have large male hands, your thumb is going to go up here somewhere, more than likely. I do like the choil that they cut in for you, and the sharpening choil is it's pretty good. They left you quite a bit of material to sharpen off, so this guy should last you quite a few years, even if it's hard use for you and you're constantly sharpening your blade. It should last you a few years. So I really like the design of the handle and the fact that it's a neutral grip. That way everybody can use it in their own specific way. It doesn't force your fingers anywhere. I do like the fact that they made a little extra room right here to access the liner lock, because on my Osprey they did not put any cutout in it whatsoever. It was just a straight neutral grip. And so I had my Osprey customized, and when Nathan customized it, I asked him if he could cut in some relief for me to get to that lock bar, and of course he did an amazing job. But yeah, I promised you a little review on this here Rampart, and we'll see as time how time tells about these copper scales. I really love these scales, and I can't wait to see how they look down the road. But thanks for stopping by, and I hope you could make it all the way through here. I will be putting up some more petrified fish very soon. See you soon!